Alright, we're just jumping into this because I didn't make an intro. Okay, so you're going to need 3 of the dollar store chains, and you can use 3 of these skeletons is what I use. You can choose whatever you want to put inside the cage. It's up to you. I also used 2 zip ties from the dollar store as well. Alright, so I went ahead and grabbed the 2 Dollar Tree baskets. I also grabbed one of these creepy cloth from the Dollar Tree. I went ahead and grabbed this black spray paint because it said it bonded to plastic, so I grabbed that one. You can also grab the silver one if you would like. Okay, so here we are, just spray painting the baskets. I've never spray painted before, so that was super fun to do, and I definitely recommend wearing a mask while doing this, and maybe putting down some more plastic. Okay, so this is just me trying to figure out how I want to place the skulls together and taking the stickers off, and just kind of figuring out how they will fit together. And then I used hot glue just to glue them together, and it worked out pretty well. So after I'm done gluing these, I'm going to start getting the chains, and it's pretty nice because they actually are able to hook together. As you can see, I hooked them together. And now I am placing the skulls inside the basket, and I put hot glue on the bottom, but what I recommend is gluing inside the basket where the plastic actually connects. You'll see here in a minute, I'll go through the bottom and just glue where the skull touches the basket because there's holes, so it's pointless to put a bunch of glue on the bottom if you're not going to actually connect it to the basket. Now that they're glued, I put it to the side and grab the top part of the cage. This is probably the most complicated part, I feel like. So now I'm going to attach the chains to the actual basket, and you'll see I took a zip tie, and I'm going to thread it from the top through the basket and then pull it back up through the basket, if that makes sense. And you want to make sure that it's perfectly even, or not your cage will be uneven and hang sideways. You might like that, but I wanted it to hang flat, so you'll see me readjust and make sure that it's evenly placed through the basket. So you'll kind of see me fumble and try to get this weaved through the basket. If you have big hands, this might be hard, so you might want to recruit somebody with smaller hands. So here I have it threaded through the basket, and then I'm going to add the chains. So you're going to want to make sure when you do thread it through the chain to make sure that it's tight and it won't move, because the chain does have an opening, so it could fall off if it's windy or something. So yeah, just make sure that you pull it super tight and then it won't move, so hopefully it won't fall off of your chain. So this is where you'll see me put the chain through and then try to make it pull through tight as you can so the chain doesn't move. But yeah, that worked out perfectly, and I went through and made it tighter so it won't move. So now that the chain is attached to the cage with the zip tie, I'm just going to cut off the excess of it, and you'll see me flip over the cage and show you kind of how I threaded it through the bottom here in a second. So it's threaded through the bottom, and you can see the zip tie. Okay, so you can clearly see the zip tie here, so I'm going to take some of this cloth. I maybe took about a foot or so. You can take less depending on what you want to do with it. And I'm just going to cover the zip tie so you can't see it connecting the chain and the cage together. So I kind of just dropped it in through the bottom and then just pulled it through the top, and you'll see just a little piece of the corner, and then I pulled it through, and then you can kind of see me struggling with it. I went around the chain at first, but you'll see me go back through and leave it through the actual chain, and you'll see here in a minute. And then I'll pull it back through, and it'll look much better when you weave it through the chain and through the basket. So I definitely did not like how the chain was sitting, so you'll see me pull it back through and then weave it through again. There I go. So I weaved it through, and then I'll weave it back through the cage. So then I go back through underneath and pull it through. And I'm gonna grab my hot glue gun and just pull enough through that it's gonna cover that part of the zip tie on the bottom. And be careful, because you'll feel the glue through this cloth, but I'm used to it, so if you're not, I'd definitely be wearing some gloves so you don't get burnt. So now the zip tie and the chain are hidden. It just makes it a little extra. You don't have to do this part. I just didn't want that zip tie showing. And now I flip it back over, and I'm just gluing using hot glue, and just gonna glue it so it sticks more to the side instead of just hanging down the center. You'll see me adjust it. I'll put hot glue in the rim of the laundry basket, and then I'll push it down. Again, definitely wear gloves if you're sensitive to hot glue. I'm just used to it, and I'll just ignore the pain, I guess. So I'm just putting hot glue in the rim of the basket at the top, and then pushing the cloth into the hot glue so it just has more of a structure to it. So I definitely would take your time on this part if you want to make it look pretty cool. You'll see me here in a minute try to use the back of scissors. That didn't really work either, but I was burning my fingers, so I figured that would help. But yeah, just be very careful and try not to burn yourself when you're gluing the cloth down to the basket. So you'll see me turn it back upright and just kind of seeing how it's hanging. Just do it however you'd like and how you think it looks good, and just play around with it. It's really up to you and how you want to customize how this looks. You honestly don't even have to put the cloth in if you don't want to. I just thought it added a little bit creepier of an element to it. So I'm adding more cloth to the other side of the cage and basically doing the same thing. I'm hanging it over the edge, and then I will go back, add some hot glue to the rim of the laundry basket, and then push it down. So at this point, I also added some glue to the sides of the laundry basket so that the cloth would hang more structured as well to the side of the basket and not fall to the center. I think I only did a couple strands of the cloth on the side of the laundry basket. Okay, so now I'm putting the top and the bottom pieces together and kind of seeing how it looks. So I used electrical black tape. It's honestly what I had on hand. You could probably use zip ties as long as you spray painted them black. Yeah, whatever you decide to use, just make sure it's black so it blends in with the cage. And I just use this tape because I think I'm going to go back and change a couple of things with the skeletons. I kind of want to add more skeletons, and then I saw some glow-in-the-dark spray paint at Target, so I might do that. Spray paint them glow-in-the-dark so they look super cool at night. If I do that, I'll definitely do a video on it and show you guys the difference. So yeah, just see me struggling here trying to get some tape threaded through the baskets, and it's pretty difficult if you have bigger fingers. You'll see me here in a minute kind of show you how I do it. But yeah, I just taped 4 points about a quarter of the way each time, so 4 different spots. You could do more if you want to. Like I said, I'm just going to go back and add some more skeletons and probably some spray paint. So yeah, just do whatever you want to. You can definitely customize this to make it look the way you want to. Okay, so I just am showing you the 4 different spots that I used the tape. And just every quarter of the way I added some tape. I think that one's a little bit longer, but you get the point. You could add more tape, whatever you want to do. Okay guys, here's the finished product. If you want to hit like and subscribe to my channel for some more of these DIYs. I also am going to give the credit to the person that I found this DIY from down below because I don't know off the top of my head. So yeah, if you like this video or you want to see more videos, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys later. Bye!